we keep our information.
It's very good.
private.
You got your sources, right? Okay.
Welcome to Hot Nugs, the show with the hot questions and even hotter nuggets. Today I'm joined by Officer Pat. I'm your host, Isaiah Armstrong. And yeah, let's get into it.
All right, let's do it.
So, first to start off with, are you familiar with the show First We Feast?
I heard about it, and then I did watch some clips about it.
So you have seen, you're familiar with what you're getting into?
The format, yeah, and what I'm getting into.
All right, so how's your spice level? Would you say like you're tolerant or you're like...
Somewhere in the middle now. When I was
Right.
younger, I was very tolerant. I could go
Yeah.
pretty high on the scale, but I don't know about.
No, you're just like,
getting a little
like
bit
an
older.
enjoyable heat, not
Sure.
like...
Yeah, exactly. Something comfortable. Let's do it.
That's it.
All right. Cheers. Just eat it whole, or however I wish.
However you want.
Okay.
Take a bite, eat it whole.
It's tasty. Not the nugget.
Just the sauce. It's not
I'm
bad.
kidding. No, it's not bad at all.
Yeah, you like it?
Got a little bit of heat.
Yeah. So you do an excellent job at making everyone here at Pineland seem safe and secure. What is something you think people don't know about what it takes to be a school security officer?
I'm, probably because of the age group. They probably don't realize how vigilant you really need to be.
Yeah.
I try to make it look like I'm just going through my regular day, but meanwhile behind the scenes, I'm making sure that the doors are secure, that the grounds are secure, and also one of my parts of my jobs too is making sure the equipment and the building and the doors and the tables and the chairs, everything is up to par, if you know what I mean, up to safety standards.
So there's like a lot of behind the scenes stuff that people don't realize that you have to check every single day.
Right, and then I'm also monitoring the cameras with Officer Kyle, so we make sure that we have enough cameras up so that we can see all four corners of the building.
Yeah.
So.
Did you ever have a moment that made you think like, yeah, this is what I'd like do it for? Like,
yeah, I think this was definitely my second calling. I mean, my police career was phenomenal, and I had a great time. But when I fell into school security, I really thought that, this is where I wanted to be.
Like, so what? Like your first day on the job, you're like, yeah, this is...
First day at Stafford schools, yeah. That first year, I really felt comfortable. And then, transitioning to the high school, I really wasn't sure, how easy of a transition that might be with being with the older group of students. But I felt comfortable right away.
Cheers on this one.
All right, let's do it. Ooh. See, I love food, so I'm going to eat them all.
That's what I did the first one. Now I've started to dim it down a little bit. But
I get it. And I don't normally eat. I try to keep it mostly clean. So when I get an opportunity, I eat it all.
This one's not bad. What do you think?
No, not at all. I think it's got a little less bite than the first one.
Yeah. And I'm familiar with you being a huge fan of Disney. If you had to choose any Disney characters to help you for backup on a shift, who would you take?
For backup, huh? You think? Like any Disney character?
Any.
I guess Gaston, right?
Yeah.
He's the big dog. So I would take actually he's standing behind me. I think anybody in front of me is gonna take me seriously and listen. I had a police officer on the police department in Barnegat Township. He was 6'6".
Right, so that's a unit.
280 pounds. And I always knew when he showed up on a call because everybody started to comply. Like there was no issues,
So that'd be your Gaston?
Yeah, I'd be like, I guess Rick just showed up. But I think I would take Gaston. Metal Trace. All right. We're getting into a little bit more heat now.
That one's a little quick, right? Still doesn't taste bad, right?
No, not at all.
Good.
You haven't microwaved. It's fine.
So ever since the first time I met you, you immediately knew my name like that. How do you remember everyone's names and faces so easily? Like, what is it?
So the memorization is just repetition. All right, so the Smart Pass system, my first year here was the first year of the Smart Pass system.
Yeah.
So that helped me out a lot. What I do is, especially like outside on the patio, when we do an outdoor lunch,
Yeah.
I'm not eavesdropping, but I am listening.
Yeah.
I can hear things. And if I hear you know, when you're sitting there with Jaden and you guys are having a conversation,
Yeah.
you call him by his first name,
Yeah.
I pick up on that. And I try to associate the name with the face. But with the Smart Pass system, I literally test myself. So I'll look at the pictures and I'll cover the name with the bottom of the screen. And then I'll just start naming them one by one until I get them right. And then what I try to do, I'll purposely go out and walk past these people and call them by their name when I'm passing them in the hallways. And then this way I get that association.
Yeah.
And then it's repetition.
And then it just clicks.
Yeah.
And
the
you
more
just,
interaction I have with you,
Yeah.
which for you and I, the
See,
first
like,
year
every day.
here,
Yeah.
all the time, you were always eating outside too. You know, you always the same group of friends and everything. So, yeah, on the patio, sometimes I even like, I don't want to, it's not conceited or anything, impress myself. I'm like, man, I'm at like 95%. I can pretty much name every single person out here. But I want it to be that way too.
Yeah.
Because if you're out there with me, I want to get to know you. So I'll typically, if it's a group of students that I'm like, man, I haven't really seen these students out and about or around. Because there's some students that never take a Smart Pass out.
Yeah.
I mean, they stay in class, they do their thing, they go to the bathroom maybe, not this year, but maybe in between classes, where they're only out every so often.
Yeah.
Other students have 500, 600, 700 passes out already this year. So, you know,
Yeah,
you're
like-
seeing them all the time. But Smart Pass helped out a lot.
Have you ever got any of them wrong while passing someone?
So, do you know Hastings, the last name Hastings?
I don't think so.
They're twins. So it's
Oh,
Romello.
do you mix up twins?
Well, I didn't know they were twins. It was Romello and Kingston. And it was a Romello, and he was out back earlier in the year on the patio. And I don't know what he was doing. I don't know if he was getting loud or something. I'm like, Kingston, just tone it down a little bit. He's like, I'm not Kingston. I'm like, you got a twin brother? He's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. I'm like, so you're Romello? And he was like, yeah, I'm Romello. So that, and then there was a student named Isabella, and I called her Bella, not knowing that she does not like Bella.
She doesn't like that.
No.
So you still knew it.
I knew it,
so,
but
yeah.
she gave me a look and she went, Bella? And I'm like, I guess you don't like that, so it's Izzy.
Yeah.
Call her Izzy.
All right, you ready for number 4?
Let's do it. All right, buddy. There you go. All right, that has a different taste to it.
That
It's a
was
little
ghost
bit
pepper.
lighter. What is it?
Ghost pepper.
Oh, okay.
What were you saying about it?
That's gonna hit on the back end. It was a little lighter in taste. Now it's starting to kick in.
Yep.
Okay.
Once you swallow it, it goes down your throat, right?
Yep.
So you're an avid runner. What would you say motivates you to keep participating in these runs? Like, do you have like a run for running? Did you do track? Or what goes into it?
No, so I didn't do track. I started running because of the police academy, getting in shape for the police test and then a police academy. And it's just very therapeutic for me. I love to be out there by myself, sometimes with others, but just having that time for me and my thoughts. And like I said, it's just therapy for me. The competition side of it is mainly like I'm competing against myself. Like you and I can go out and run a 5K,
Yeah.
but I'm not interested in beating you. I'm interested in bettering myself, beating my time from the last 5K that I did, you know. And the training part of it is what I enjoy most. Like I always compare it to like Christmas morning, Christmas Day. You know, you spend all this time leading up to Christmas Day. You go shopping, you're wrapping the gifts, blah, blah, and it's over in 10 minutes, 15 minutes. You know, you rip the gifts open, blah, blah, and that feeling is gone.
Yeah.
So when race day comes, I'm excited. The gun goes off. Depending on what distance I'm running, I could be done in, 30 minutes, 60 minutes, 2 hours, 4 hours, and then that's it.
Yeah.
So then what happens is the next day, it's like, all right, when's the next one?
Is there anything like specific on your playlist that you'd say helps you get through a run?
Yeah, Eminem.
Eminem.
Yeah.
That'll get you through it.
Mumford & Sons, Eminem, definitely, he'll definitely get you through it.
Does it change up between like longer to shorter races? Like, do you have something that you would specifically pick?
I don't care for shorter races anymore. I'd rather be out there a little bit longer, go a little bit slower, and get my money's worth. So half marathons and marathons.
Yeah.
I've done a handful of ultras. Those are usually 31 miles or more. And the most I've ever done at one time is 36 miles. So I ran the length of Long Beach Island twice.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. We met up at the lighthouse, ran to Holgate, and then put our bibs on and ran back to the lighthouse with the Long Beach Island runners. So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Where do you think's the craziest place you've done like a marathon or any run?
My favorite is the Marine Corps Marathon. I've done that a few times, and it's all through Washington, D.C. and Arlington, Virginia.
Yeah.
But on the course are active duty Marine soldiers, and at the end of the race, at the finish line, a Marine puts the medal on you. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
All right, you want to go for it?
Let's do it. Number 5.
Yeah.
As soon as I put it in my mouth, I could get the smell of it.
Yeah.
No.
And you got to swallow right too, just in case. Yeah.
Okay. That one's gonna hit. What are you doing, the milk or the water?
I've been switching between both. By the end, I'm usually like chugging the milk, but
Yeah.
I do water for most of them.
All right. Starting to sweat now, though.
So before, before coming to work at Pinelands, you worked as a lieutenant at Barnegat Police Department.
Correct.
What would you say was one of your most interesting experiences being there?
Probably being the press information officer was one of my duties. So we've had several incidents in town where major news networks kind of flocked into our area, and getting to work with reporters from like NBC and CBS and ABC and stuff like that, that was a very interesting part of the job. And believe it or not, that was pretty much a daily task for me, because it's crazy what the media is interested in. Like, I try to give them like positive, feel-good stories.
Yeah.
Not interested.
Not interested.
Nah,
right.
They're interested. They want the dirt, and I can't always give them what they're looking for. Well, you saw the most recent wildfire that we had in Barnegat and Waretown, probably about 20 years ago. We had a flare from an exercise that the Air Force was doing land in our wooded area in Barnegat, and the fire was probably just as big as this most recent one. And that was interesting, because my entire job was just feeding information to the press for hours, just making sure that people had the information so they can stay safe and evacuate if need be and stuff like that. So, but yeah, that was pretty interesting. Being on the SWAT team was interesting too.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, had a fun time doing that. I did that for about 10 years. Absolutely.
All right.
All right. Save the best for last.
You're going through these pretty good.
I gotta say, I'm surprised, because I thought this one was gonna hit me really hard, but it just wore off quickly.
Yeah, it just wore off.
It
quickly,
hit,
right?
and it just wore off quickly. So,
This one doesn't wear off that much.
last one, best one.
The whole one is brave. Whole wing.
Yeah, like I told you, I'm eating. I'm gonna be, oh yeah. Gonna be back in a few hours, so. You coming back tonight?
Nah, I can't. No.
There we go.
So I'm familiar with you being a fan of The Office, right?
Yes.
If you had to choose any characters to create a bowling team, what characters would you pick and why?
Ooh. I think I gotta go with Daryl. I think he would be a pretty good bowler. And he's pretty funny. Dwight is so intense, you gotta put him clean up.
Yeah.
I think that he would just roll the ball so hard that that he just like scare the pins down, you know what I mean? Maybe Meredith, because she's just so outlandish, you know what I mean? See what she rolls up in, every single week and what she dresses
Bring
like.
some joy
and,
to the team.
yeah, because you know she's gonna have fun. So, yeah, that one's hitting pretty good. Right. So yeah, there's only 4 to a team. I guess I would be the 4th one. So, how do you guys know I'm a fan of The Office?
You're not allowed to know that.
Okay.
we keep our information.
It's very good. I mean, your sources, right? Okay.
Feeling good? How are you doing?
All right. I did good on the first 5.
You did, yeah.
Now the saliva's starting to build up.
Yeah.
And the
That
water
what makes
water's only temporary relief. It's
Yeah.
not going to go away anytime soon.
It makes it harder to like focus on what you're trying to
Right.
say.
Yeah.
Well, you survived the Dinos of
did.
death. You
I
did
did.
good.
All right.
We have one camera here and one camera here. If you like to tell the people at home anything, you're free. You're
yeah, this
feel
was
free.
a great experience. I'm glad that I was asked. I'm glad that I participated. And don't be shy. If you're asked to do the Hot Ones challenge, give it a go.
You did great.
Yeah, thanks,
you
man.
actually.
Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
you really.
All right. Thank you.
You
Yeah,
really
this
sucked
one's
me
hitting.
down.
I'm sweating. So
Yeah, you and
This was good.
Goodwin did.
yeah,
Did the
I
best.
think the reason why is because I was able to put the whole nugget
Yeah.
in my mouth at one point, and it didn't touch my lips. Like
Yeah. No, because people were biting them and
Yeah.
it would touch their lips and then
Yeah.
they just start like dying.
right. I think that's the whole reason with chicken or the egg. It's like if I could use a knife and fork
Mhm.
to eat it and bypass
And
my
just-
lips.
Yeah. Because when
Yeah.
it sits on your lips, that's when it's like, and especially if you swallow wrong and it like, then you start coughing and it gets
Yep.
bad.
Yep. So yeah, that one's a hot one. Well, look.
Yeah, me too.
How about the sweat?
I was sweating.